Okay guys, so I'm going to tie a fly called the Kinship. The hook in the vise is a size 10 standard heavyweight bat fly hook, and the thread I'm going to use is uni thread 801 black. So I'll just come in and get the thread started behind the eye of the hook. I'll just run on a bed of thread, then I can just break away the waist tag of the thread. Now the first part of the tail is golden pheasant tippet feathers dyed red. So I'll just come in and take a feather off the collar. Now, all I do is just simply remove the rubbish from the bottom of the feather, and then I just pull in the remainder of the feather, just pull the tips in. Then I come in with my scissors and just take away the amount of fibres that I like to see in the tail. Now, snap these up to the hook. Everybody has their own idea of the length of the tail that they like on a fly. So I'm just going to have this much the length of the hook over the back, and I just come around with a pinching loop, and then I take several thread turns going down the shank of the hook. Then I'll just come in and trim these the length of the body. Next part of the tail on top of that is a golden pheasant crest feather dyed red. So I just offer this to the side of the hook, do a turn, which brings it up on top, and then I just bring this into the length that you like. Now you want your crest feather coming slightly past your tippet. So you just want that a wee tiny bit longer than your tippet. Once you're happy, you tighten up, run your thread up, just come in and trim the crest feather the same length as your tippets, and then just run your thread on up, tying this in nice and tight. Now on the way back down I'm going to tie in the rib, and the rib is a Noble Mirage tinsel by UTC. This is a medium, so I'm going to take a length of that off. For this up to the hook, just tie it in on my side, and then run your thread back down. Now you don't have to be too fussy with the body. The body's going to be dubbed, so just bring your thread back down. Just get this into the material clip here. Okay, now the body, black seals fur, any black dubbing that you have will be grand. I'm just going to use a black traditional Irish dubbing. So just taking some out of the dispenser here. And just going to dub this onto my thread. So just remember, take your dubbing the one way. Another wee pinch. And when you're putting dubbing onto your thread, remember, just always the one way. Just push it up, and then bring up the dubbing. Just the length of the body to there. Now anything that wants to go forward, just come in and stroke it back, get a few thread turns in at the front. Now on the original pattern that George tied, George uses all hen haggles in this fly. Now I'm just going to use a genetic black cock saddle haggle. So just going to come in, take away all the rubbish from the bottom of the feather. I'm just going to offer this up onto the side of the hook on my side. A couple of turns of thread to secure in the haggle. I'm just going to come in and trim away the haggle stem, and then just palmer the body. Now I like to get 2 turns of the haggle at the shoulder, and then 3 or 4 turns of the feather down the body to there. Now keep a hold of your tip of your haggle, then just come round with your Noble Mirage tinsel for your rib. Now don't be worried if you catch in some of the haggle, just concentrate and bring up your rib, which is your Noble Mirage tinsel. Now bring it up, anything that's going forward, just come in and stroke it back, bring up the tinsel in front, just following around with the thread, Now, don't worry about them wee fibres that are sitting over the front of the eye. Just concentrate on tying in your Opal Mirage tinsel. A couple of turns will tie that in. Then just come in and trim away the Opal Mirage, and then just trim away the remainder of the cock haggle at the back of the fly. Now, anything that's going forward, you can just come in and stroke it back at this stage. Just get a bit of thread down at the front for the materials at the front and back up. Now, you can come in with a dubbing brush, or in this case this is just a lollipop stick with some velcro on it, and you can just tease out and bring out any of the feathers or the fibre that you might have trapped in when you were bringing up the Opal Mirage tinsel. Now, the next haggle on the fly is a Chinese cock haggle, and I'm just using as I say, a Chinese cock haggle dyed orange on the original pattern in George's book. Like I said at the start, he uses all hen haggles for the fly. So just going to come in, stroke back the fibres to reveal the tip. Just come up a couple of turns, tying in the tip. I'm going to fold the tip back and just bring my thread turns up over the top of the tip and the haggle, and then come in and just break away the tip. Now, turns of the haggle, the orange is up to yourself. I'm only going to put 2 turns in. That's all I like. If you like more, you put more turns of orange in to your fly. So just going to put 2 in there. Now, just keep a hold of the haggle underneath. Just fly it around with your thread. Get a tight turn in to hold, then a couple of tight turns to secure everything in. Then just come in with your scissors and remove the remainder of the haggle. Now, anything that wants to go forward, I'm just going to stroke it back at this stage. Just get a bit of thread at the front. Now, the next haggle on the fly, I'm going to use a black hen haggle. You want the longish one, so this one there. All I want to do is just stroke the fibres back to reveal the tip. And when you offer this up, 1 turn to hold, another turn to secure, fold back my tip of my haggle, and then just bring the thread up over the top of the tip of the haggle and the stem. Now, just come in, locate your tip, you can just break that away. Now, turns of haggle at the front, it's entirely up to yourself. If you like your flies dressed heavy, put on 3 or 4 turns. I'm just going to put on 2. That's 1, and then I'm going to put another 1 in. That's 2. Just keep a hold of your stem of your haggle again. Simply follow it around with your thread. 1 turn to hold, a couple of turns to secure. Now, the stem of that haggle is thin, so I'm going to fold everything back and then bring my thread up over the top of the haggle stem, just creating the head at the same time. Nice and tight. Just build your head up. Keep your thread tight, don't let it go. Break the stem of the haggle off. Still keep your thread tight. Just come in with your whip finisher and just throw in a whip finish. Put your thread up nice and tight, and then just come in and trim away your thread. Now, just to finish off, we'll come in and put on a wee fine coat of clear varnish, and this is just Vineyard's clear varnish that I'm using. So I've just simply put it into an empty Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails bottle. Just show you in a wee second. Sit there. Just put the Vineyard varnish into that. Now, just come in and make sure your eye's clean. And there you go, folks. So that's the fly called the Kinship. like I say, you can tie that down to size 12s. Look, give the fly a wee go, and hopefully you can catch you a few fish.